sir, shall we start now?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, Very good evening, one and all. I am Dr. Nilesh S. Dumore, co-coordinator and head of the Chemical Department, SN Patel Institute of Technology and Research Center, Umrag, Bardoli. I would like to warmly welcome our estimated experts, speakers, Dr. Vijay Singh Parihar, today's faculty program development program sessions. We are truly honored to have such a distinguished professional in our midst, bring their extensive expertise in functionalization of biopolymers and gel fabrications for bioprinting, drug delivery, tissue engineering applications to share with us. Uh, Dr. Parihar, he is currently working as postdoctoral researchers at the Faculty of Medicines and Health Technologies at Tampere Universities, Finland, since from the 17th, and his previous experience as National Postdoctoral Fellow at IIT Indore, India, and Research Associate at Jawaharlal Nehru Center for the Advanced Scientist Research, Bangalore, India, and he has completed his PhD in Organic Chemistry from the Savitribai Phule University, Pune, and part of his PhD thesis work as was conducted at Ulpsa University and Stockholm University, Sweden. He has uh, he has guided as two PhD student and four master student at Tampere universities, and he also received many awards and honors, such as the awards of Podokos, that is the postdoc in company grant in December 2020 with Britterweiss, Finland. He has awarded the Dr. D.S. Kotari postdoctoral fellowship by the University of Grand Commissions, India. He also awarded TUT's Foundation postdoctoral grant to work at Tampere University, Finland. And he is also awarded the SER National Postdoc Fellowship by DST, Government of India, to work at IIT Indore. And he also awarded the enormous units fellowships to carry out work to Ulfalsa University and Stockholm University, Sweden, by the European Commissions from 2011 to 13. And he also get qualified by conducted by IIT Kanpur in 2007, and also he's honor with the gold medalist in post masters of science and bachelor of science for securing first rank. All these are about the experts, and about research of his research. He has published the peer review articles, and review articles is more than the 51, conference is 1 and book chapter is 2, and his total citation, Google citation, is more than 1000. H index is 17, I-10 index is 23, more than. So this as per the Google Scholar, and he's also a reviewer more than the 10 journals like Elsevier, ACH, RSS, IOP, Frontrun, Medias, and many more. So this all's about our experts. Now we will enjoy our expert sessions. So please, sir, I hand over the
Mm.
sessions to you. Please carry forward your sessions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nilesh, for very kind words. Uh, and as you can understand from my background, that my expertise is not like hardcore agriculture, sustainable agriculture's field, but we do a lot of things that like directly or indirectly helping to bring this technology for sustainable agriculture. So since this session like you arranging was like about the sustainable agriculture system, so I thought to focus on like some of the work we are doing here for sustainable agriculture. Big Chirag also, Dr.
Yeah,
Chirag and
yeah, sure, sir.
his professor Mati Metansalo. So we are developing some like biodegradable supercapacitor. The ultimate aim of the project is to develop some like sensing system for agriculture monitoring, like farmer can do it from their home. So this is like, so that's what the region like I decided to have like my focus will be more on the technology side, because for sustainable agriculture there are many perspective, right? Like one
Right.
can talk about like sustainable solution for pesticides. One can think about sustainable way of like water utilization, right? And
Right.
sustainable way of producing like to create like a very efficient crop varieties. So if you see, all in all, there are many ways, many perspectives for the uh, sustainable agriculture. This is very broad field and very important, one of the most important field, I would say, because without food security, no one is secure in the, like in other ways. So we all need food security first, and for that we are like, as a scientist, as a technology person, it's our responsibility to develop the sustainable like ways to get things easy for the farmer, or to get some technology which can be easily accessible to the farmers without much cost. So that is the overall aim. Otherwise there are like many, like the work at technology levels going in a many ways, like many different levels. But our prime focus here is it should be cheap, and it should be easy and easily accessible to the farmer. And there should be a good connection between farmers and the technology, like the scientist and the institution or the government, so that this can be implemented easily. So this coordination between governments and the technology peoples, that is very crucial. So here in this lecture, I mean, it's not a very expert lecture, I would say. It's a I prepare this lecture like a discussion, like, let's say, I mean, I hope here, like, as you mentioned, it's a faculty developed program, so most of the audience are faculty already there, right? Faculty members in India.
Yeah, right, right.
Mhm. Yeah. So the idea was not to teach. I cannot teach them. They are already expert. I mean, in the many different fields. Even I don't know many things, and they know much better than me. But my idea was to let's summarize this topic in a way that how technology can transform, and how technology can help the sustainable agriculture solution. So it will be a kind of discussion. So you can interrupt me anytime whenever you want to interrupt me. And if you want to know more, we can discuss, because here I try to combine technology with what we are doing, also trying to relate how we can relate this. And since as a biomaterial chemist, I am also developing biosensor, which are not used for the agriculture, but we are using for biosensing. So, but the similar technology can be adapted for the agriculture sensing technology also, because there also we want to sense some metal and pH and all. And similar things we are also targeting in body also. Sometimes pH sensitivity want to measure, or some metal, like let's say iron, or let's say some molecule like glucose sensing and all. So one all in all, whatever sensor technology we are developing for biomedical field, that can also be used in the agriculture. But the main difference is the cost. The Because for when we develop this sensing technology for let's say for biomedical, then we have a room to play with costly. We can also try to develop some costly technology, because when it health is comes, like people can invest more money. But when it comes to agriculture, people are reluctant to invest more, because there is a point, because in agriculture you need a huge amount, and the scale is large. So it should be easy, and the end user is farmer, so it should be farmer friendly, it should be cheaper, easy to implement. So these are some points. So I will try to cover some like basics here. Can I Oh, yes. So I will here in this talk, we will try to discuss how we can soil health. Like there are many, as I said, like in agriculture, there are many aspects. But here, since as a like chemist, I would like to talk more about the soil compositions, and how we can develop the technology that we can monitor the soil health. So this will be I try to narrow down the field. So here in this, we will try to discuss how we can utilize the technology to take care of soil health. And soil health is very important factor in agriculture, because soil is not just like some like inorganic particle, but it has some human. There is a pH play the role, and then some water droplets like moisture play the role, then organic molecule play the role. So it's like a complex mixture, I would say. It's a complex mixture between organic matter and minerals and gases, liquid, and even microorganism also. So you cannot separate these things from the soil. So when it comes to the soil health, All these things play together the role to become a good soil. And then the question arises how we can monitor the soil health, because sometime if you see the old practice of the agriculture, people just keep using like sometimes they just like how to say they change the crop like season after season. So this is how they try to improve the crop health. But that is sometimes that is not enough. We need to use some technology to monitor also whether this all the metals and the pH and moisture is in the right condition or not, and microorganism needed for that is there or not. So this is like so here we will try to see what kind of technologies are already there and how they are evolving, and how this AI and all other like computer technology is helping us. Like that nowadays AI is a kind of buzzword, but I would say is still relevant for the soil technology also, when it comes to the soil health technology. But we will see how this AI can also help us. But let's see little bit basic about the soil health. So the thing is like importance of soil health is like first of all to ensure the sustainable agriculture, because if the soil is not healthy, then you cannot decide which kind of crop is suitable in which area and what kind of nutrient you need to add. So that kind of like sustainability, for that sustainability you need to know exactly the composition of the soil. With time also you need to regularly like monitor with season to season when the crop change. So this will ultimately enhance the crop productivity, and it will also reduce the environmental impact. So we also need to think about the carbon, how we can reduce the carbon footprints while using this technology. So these are some basic things. And then transitional, like how this like was done like in traditional way. So as I said, like traditional ways was mostly that visual assessment. People like sometimes they just to see visually and decide, okay, this soil is suitable for this crop based on the color. And that like in our villages we see like this black color soil and this like some red color soil and something. So we decide based on the color and visual assessment, okay, this crop will be better here. So there is no like exact parameters that time in olden days, like traditional methods. And manual moisture content people used to like measure. But oh, I think yes, it's not changing, right? Yes. So, as I said, in this lecture, we will try to focus more on sensing technology, any other technology, technology which can help us to detect all the component of soil. We will cover here. We will try to cover. Of course, it's not possible to cover all in one lecture, but we will try the most important technology nowadays that like adopting like practically in the farming. So type of sensors, like when it comes to the soil, we have to monitor pH. So we need pH sensor, and pH sensor work differently than elemental sensor. So there is one way to develop this like cheap sensor for pH sensing. And nutrient sensor. Nutrient sensor means then we can predict, like we can like map all the nutrients that is there in that soil. And temperature sensor we need it because huge difference in temperature may lead to the moisture content, and it may lead to the change in pH also ultimately if there are huge temperature variations. So we need like proper temperature sensor, moisture sensor, and pH. So these are the basic sensors that one can think of to like monitor the soil health. And later we will see how this kind of things are like connected to the AI, so that people can monitor from their mobile phone. We will see that also in the some later part. So as you see, like the benefit is like benefit of such sensors technology, you can real time monitor the soil health. Like it's not needed like in a 5 6 months someone will go and someone will test. No, but you can, if you if you like place this kind of sensor in your field, then you can do the real time monitoring. And then if needed, then you can act accordingly to adjust these parameters in the farming field. So precision. So first of all, it's like using this technology, you can do the real time monitoring. Second, there is a precision agriculture application means you can precisely utilize the agriculture application, like which kind of crop is like can be suitable at which conditions, so you can easily like monitor that. And of course it can reduce the labor cost a lot. That is like ultimately sustainable for us. And then as I said, when you connect these kind of sensing technology with the remote sensing technology, then you need not to go there like on field all the time. So you can also connect this technology with the satellite technology, and then you can also connect with the robotics, robots and drone. But of course, these kind of technology is not easy to adopt immediately in the rural area or in the country which are like kind of a little bit less developed, but it's easier to adopt in the developed nation because the producing such kind of instrument cost is quite low, and farmers are also very much educated and well, like they are well connected with technology. So the technology adoption and technology implementation is easy in this country. But in India also nowadays, because of this digital India program, I guess many, like almost every farmer, they have the nowadays a smartphone. So I think in near future it will not be a difficult to implement this kind of technology to the Indian farmer also. Like nowadays, even everyone having this Paytm system and all. So similarly, we can also think of, there is not like completely impossible. We can also implement this technology in Indian farming sector too. And if you see, this is like, as I said, IoT is a good platform like Internet things. So that means you can connect like many things with the digitalization. So there are, as I said, like sensing technology and digitalization. If you connect together, then you can get the real time monitoring from your home. So it's like automation. So like sensor cannot be sensor, all sensing system can be automated if you combine with this internet technology, so you can control from your smartphone. So idea of IoT based soil sensor is like you combine with the digitalized platform, and then you can get the real time data, and then you can improve your soil health according to the need. And as I said, like we can like nowadays, artificial intelligence is like trying to, people trying to connect everything with AI to make it easy and access, how to say, more like data rich. Like so based on the data, AI predicts some, based on the algorithm, so we can utilize that data repository, and that AI can, optimize for you. Basically it can predict some model based on the data, like previous day, how AI work. So we can also utilize AI here if we connect properly with these technologies for soil health monitoring. So still we are like focusing on soil health monitoring, and then how we can connect with this artificial intelligence things. And not only this, I mean nowadays, even I'm like little bit off side of this topic. Like let's say I'm trying to develop here bioing for the tissue engineering, and we were working on bioprinting, and then this bioprinting parameters need to optimize like pressure. When you do the extrusion based bioprinting, you need like some particular pressure, viscosity, rheological property of the ink and all those things. So we were like thinking, can we develop some AI assisted model to predict some best parameters, so we can reduce this hit and trial method. When we do this, like we need to like waste a lot of materials. And recently we were able to combine this with AI. So and recently we are going to publish that work. So similarly here also in this in other agriculture technology, sensing technology, it is possible to combine this with the AI to get better data, to get like some kind of basic idea, like how it can be based on the previous data. You can decide some kind of optimization. Basically, you can optimize it. So it's a basically data driven decision. It will be easy. And not only this is little bit like more towards microbes. So not only like soil moisture, pH and element, but moreover you can also like map the biodiversity within the soil, because biodiversity of soil is also very important depending on the temperature, depending on the country to country. The bioorganism environment, you know that, like biome. So bioorganism, the set of bioorganism within that soil is depend on from region to region, from country to country, depending on the climate. So that can also be monitored closely. And then if we go like in a wheat, like if we study this microbiome system in detail, we can like predict what kind of condition they need to maintain this like microbiome. If there is some kind of climate changes going on, or some let's say if you are using very harsh pesticide or this thing, then you have to monitor this microbiome, whether our what we are using these very harsh pesticides and synthetic pesticide, are they altering our microbiome or not. You have to check that. This is like very important, that we always neglect when we put pesticide to kill pest, and we happy, we thought okay, now our crop productivity increase and everything is fine and love love love. But at the same time you have to also think, if they are not killing this microorganism, and if microbiome is changing, that it can change the geographical situation also. The like kind of plant they are like suitable, they might not be suitable to grow after some time if the microbiome completely change. So my point is, like, instead of apart from these all these factors which we monitor, pH, metal and everything, we need to take care of, we need to monitor the microbiome also. And nowadays we have very like very like how to say, very high grade technology to map genomic things, so we can make use of that for sustainable agriculture. Now I will go little more like specific towards the metal analysis. Like, now I'm like little bit because apart from all these components, metal like constitutes the big portion of this soil health, because metal is like, let's say 60%, say 70% weightage goes to the metal compositions, as an inorganic component, you can say. So in this metal component I will go little my idea is there. I mean, as you are all faculty, you know there are many methods, like conventional method to detect these elements, like titration, many other things. Like you can just take the this thing and try to take the metal and do the, how to say, do the ICP, inductive couples plasma spectroscopy, you will get. But they are all like kind of laboratory dependent, and they are very expensive sometime, and not easy to adopt, like it's not easily available instrument. So the idea was to see how this metal sensing technology is developing with time. So my idea is, I don't want to tell like too many techniques here, but my idea is how recent technology is growing in this field, like elemental analysis, how new startups are coming. So here my I will try to show you some startup, like extraordinary startups. They came up recently in like maybe few years, 5 to 10 years on these. Some brilliant startup comes into the picture within Europe and US, that they are trying to map these elements very easily from their home, and some are like need to go field also. But I will try to discuss with you some of the startups that and how they work. And as you see this picture, I took it from the Dr. Technologies. Dr. Technology is also a startup company. They are working on the, they are providing some solution to detect the metals concentration from the soil. So let's see one example here. This is why I would like to say this. This is Sense Analytics is the recently developed startup in our university, Tampere University, and it established I think 2 years back. It was established, and this startup idea was one of the Finnish professor here and one Indian colleague, my postdoc from like Dr. Vishal. So they came up with this idea ki why not to use labs. So it's lab like lips based technology. So lips based is because they are working in lot of laser based technology. So they try to utilize this laser based technology for the elemental mapping of the farmers. like soil. And if you know this, like this is very how to say, laser is a is little bit, it has some similarity with mass spectroscopy, but more user friendly, and it can be like a destruction free technique. Basically it can like break some organic molecule, but inorganic molecule will be like intact. So laser induced breakdown spectroscopy is a one of the best example recently used here in Finland, and they are also trying to coordinate with the farmer here in Finland, and trying to take their like instrument to the field and try to check, and they are trying to correlate their accuracy with other chemical method, how their like lips method, like laser based method is like better than the other chemical method detection. So this is one of the really good example of metal sensing technology based on the laser. And this if you see this paper they recently published last, like in 2023, when this before this startup was started, they published this paper, and Vishal was like kind of taking lead in this project. And they try to map almost like all metals using this technology. And not only this, and they found they tried they got this funding from Business Finland, and they tried to implement with farmers, and they try to compare with the like traditional method, and they found this technology is far superior than the laboratory analysis, chemical extraction, spectroscopic interpret, and gravimetric analysis. So this is one of the really good advancement from laser based technology. And here I will share with Dr. like Chandra sir this presentation. So if someone is interested, these are I listed some of the most important like interesting startups from Europe. They started I mean these technology based on different, that was one example, like Sense Analytics. They utilize this lips laser based technology, but there are like these startups, they utilize different technologies to map the soil health basically. So if you anyone is interested, they can look this thing. And I think recently this like startup cultures coming in India also. So these kind of techniques and startup ideas can like incubate really good research in ecosystem in the universities and within the research community actually. So these are like one of, I really like these all the startups, I go through them, but you can take a look. And now I will move little bit towards my work, what I was doing with Chirag actually here. So in this work our like although like as you see, when you have like a big project aim, one team is not enough. So the this Tesla project was for transient sustainable agriculture technology. This is a consortia project. In this project there are like almost like 10 to 12 European countries participated, and everyone has their own role for this. But the final application is for the like to develop biodegradable sensing system to monitor the agriculture like soil health and agriculture like other parameters in the field. So for sensor, so idea was to develop some sensor that can be put into the leaf, and that you can throw into like you can also establish in the soil farming land. But idea was to develop bio-friendly. So me and Chirag was like developing this biodegradable sensor. So other some other university they were developing some other like some other component of this sensing system, but we were developing this supercapacitor, biodegradable supercapacitor for this application. So this is also a good example how we can develop like sustainable technology for the agriculture. And I would like to show you, if I can show that video, how how this Tesla is developing. me see. Just a minute, okay. I will try to share. I can 1 minute. Okay, I think now it's visible or not?
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Okay, so maybe you can just quickly have a look how this Tesla is like transforming this sustainable agriculture. The aim of this, like a very, it's a very like how to say, it's interdisciplinary collaboration between several university and how they are trying to achieve this sustainable agriculture technology. You can just have a quick look, and then I will explain what we were doing in this project. So this was the aim actually. So basically, here in Finland and Europe, government and funding agency. They are providing huge amount of money to achieve this sustainable digital agriculture technologies. Basically, so digitalization of agriculture, but in a sustainable way. And all these components, they are biodegradable. If you see these film, this transparent film made from nanocellulose and carboxymethyl cellulose, CMC. So every component of this system, like the design, is like biodegradable. And when it comes to my and Chirag part, we develop a complete supercapacitor with all components are biodegradable. Our mm, how to say, our electrolyte was biodegradable. Then our modification on activated carbon, so electrode material was also biodegradable. So we design all component, even the membrane, support membrane, plus separating membrane made from nanocellulose, and electrode material was made from activated carbon. Not only alone activated carbon, but we did some chemistry on the activated carbon, and then we developed functionalized activated carbon on this. And we recently published with Chirag two papers on this. Like one was published in Journal of Power Source, another was Journal of Material Chemistry A, where we develop. Now I think you can see this, right? Switch, right? Now you can see my presentation, right? Am I correct? Is it switched to the presentation now? Like,
Yes, sir.
okay, okay, great, great. So yes, so we develop really like all I will at some point I will show those things. So we recently published, and recently also it's not online yet, but one of our work with Chirag, where we is accepted, like kind of accepted in this chemical engineering journal, which is very prestigious in chemical like engineering field, like chemical engineering field. So we develop a fully biodegradable supercapacitor system for this project. So this is the overview of that project that I already showed you.
Vishal sir,
Here.
please put on the presentation mode, your slide. Please slide
Yes.
put on the presentation mode.
Yes.
Yes, now it's okay,
Yes.
fine.
Yes. So this is the system we developed for this Tesla project, and our part was, as I said, our part, mine and Chirag part was to develop this super capacitor. So what we did here, I mean, we developed several like super capacitor. One was the dopamine. So what we did. We functionalize this activated carbon with dopamine. As you know, this dopamine has this hydroxy groups that can undergo oxidation and reduction in a reversible manner by like giving and taking electrons. So redox, it's a redox process, so oxidation reduction going on to and forth, and this is how this improve the electrochemical property of the our electrode material, carbon material. So we functionalize the activated carbon with dopamine, and you know that dopamine is well-known neurotransmitter, so it's super like bio-friendly. So that was the reason. Instead, otherwise you can use many. There are many synthetic quinones are available that you can use, and they are like quite good. But our aim was to here to use the some biological molecule to make it sustainable and green. So we use this biological molecule, and we published two papers from this dopamine functionality activated carbon with Chirag, and they were like quite high impact also. And then we thought let's use some vitamins also. So we use riboflavin, and then riboflavin is also highly redox chemical like material. It can go undergo oxidation reduction very easily because of this. You see this structure like chemical structure, like it undergo like oxidation reduction very easily because of this stable. Both the form of this compound are stable, so that means it can easily undergo reversible reaction. If one of the compound is not stable, then it might like stuck in that form, but this is like both the molecular forms are stable, so this undergo very easy redox chemical reaction. So we utilize this we try to functionalize the activated carbon with this, and this is the paper I was talking about. It's like kind of uh, accepted in chemical engineering journal. So this is here we this is how we develop the activated carbon with this modified molecules, and then we put into the cartilage. We use 3D by 3D printing technology to make a very thin and flexible supercapacitor so that they can be easily adopted in the agriculture application. So the final aim here, although I little bit go in details of the how the components work, like how supercapacitor work, but the ultimate aim is to make the flexible and really easy biodegradable supercapacitor for sensing technology. It could be any sensor, it's pH sensor, metal, or whatever. But these kind of supercapacitor can be used for the sensors used in the agriculture, and those sensors can be connected to the digitalization. So this is all like a combined process to digitalize this. But this supercapacitor development is one of the very like narrow part of that whole system, and this is the process how we build this kind of 3D printed supercapacitors. So maybe it's like uh, very space like project specific. You can see the performance of our supercapacitor was quite good with especially with this riboflavin and dopamine. So I would like to conclude, but anyway we can continue discussion. And if you want you can ask me some like detail, and if you like if you found interesting, like you can look after this lecture, you can look upon this. I will share this lecture to sir Chandra sir, but you can look on this like, and then you can think yourself how they are trying to build like a small idea can transform into a one startup company, and how they are like trying to reduce the cost, how they are trying to reduce, how they are trying to make it more farmer friendly, stuff like that. You can see it, but you can ask me. But I would like to conclude here, but you can reach me out anytime if you like if you want to know more about what we are doing here in this university, or in other like collaboratives university here. So my point, I would like to conclude this talk here, like technological, like means as you see this in this digitalization world and AI assisted world, like artificial intelligence world, data is very important first of all. And data collection and data management is very important. I think you already heard about this. Like recently, there was a AI summit in Paris. Like some of our leader also participated. I think our prime minister also participated in Paris summit. So I would say data is a gold. So that's the reason every country want to collect as much data as possible, whether it is related to agriculture, whether it is related to health, and whether it's related to genome or whatever. So data is important, and from based on that data, you can develop your own AI, like optimizations, AI based optimization. So technology is important, and we have to combine technology with the sustainable soil management or any other management related to agriculture. But here, since I focus more on soil health, so I'm like talking about technology and soil management system, how this can be integrated. Because separately they are growing very nicely. I mean, soil management, some people are doing really great in soil management, some people are really doing great in technology, but their integration is needed. So someone should come forward and try to integrate them. So basically, this work is like more like an interdisciplinary work. Let's see, if you see my background, I am organic chemist and I am doing tissue engineering here, bioprinting. But I collaborate with Chirag for the supercapacitor. But the idea is like how we can utilize like interdisciplinary background to develop this thing. All that was like completely off field, but we tried to combine this because I was already working with dopamine here in the tissue engineering, and I found that dopamine and this riboflavin is very effective for the antioxidant property. But I was trying to looking forward for my tissue engineering scaffold. We were developing some bone graft out of this dopamine functionalized molecule. So we were discussing over coffee with Chirag. We said like let's use this molecule for supercapacitor because it has nice redox property. Let's why not to use this? So my idea is the technology and sustainable like basic science, sometimes they need to sit together and try to integrate, and then only some new technology will come. And this is how a startup initiate. This is how a startup grows. The new startup born when interdisciplinary people try to integrate the things. So my point is, when you want to create some technology really user friendly on trying to implement on ground, you have to come from your comfort zone, from your box, and come out of your like what. Let's say if you are working only in one field, let's say supercapacitor, come out of that and discuss with the sensor people, discuss with the AI people, and let's discuss like how we can collaborate, how we can integrate them to bring a new technology, like overall technology. Like same like our body, like different organs, they like produce a nice collective body that work in a very synchronized way. So to conclude, we have to bring these interdisciplinary techniques to develop sustainable agriculture models. And also we need to adapt the modern health monitoring method system and to produce this, to enhance the productivity. And we can like somehow we can also work on environmental conservation. Let's say if you are developing sensor, then don't try to use all the component that can degrade with time. Let's say if you are using aiming to use the sensor which is not very costly for 6 months, so try to develop the sensor from the material which can degrade after some time. So you will not produce any plastic waste, and so it should be environment friendly. So my point is, you have to think from that perspective also when you try to develop this technology. And this was the whole idea to develop this Tesla project. And at final, I would say the final, as in the beginning also I mentioned, if you really want to implement any technology to the grassroots level, I mean, if you really want them like farmer to be used, then this connection, this collaboration between government, researcher, and farmer is very, very important. Because as a researcher, we know everything. But if we cannot convey our message to the farmer, if we cannot develop easy technology that can farmer easily adopt, that is of no use. So as a researcher, we should always keep this in mind, how we can make our technology farmer friendly, and how we can convince them to use this, and how we can have a comfortable conversation with the farmer so that they will be easily they will be ready to adopt this. And of course, government will play important role for this. They need to provide some subsidy for the farmers to adopt this technology in the beginning, at least in the beginning. So this is my kind of conclusion. I hope I try to give you a picture of modern technologies, more modern methods to monitor health technology that ultimately lead to the sustainable agriculture practices, I would say. But if you want, like, you can discuss any other thing also, like off field also. But I try to give this. But to be honest, I apologize if I'm like if I couldn't give you, because my background is quite how to say, is very wide. So I'm not kind of expert in completely expert in sustainable agriculture technologies, but I'm playing a very small role in that, basically. I hope you like it, and thanks for the patience and listening me here. I mean, I really appreciate your this enthusiasm. Like in the evening in India, you are listening me. This is quite like already quite. I'm so happy about it, and I'm really I would like to thank Dr. Chandra to contact me, and also to Chirag who like introduced me to you. And I really like to thank all audience. But I am open to take any question from anyone, and whether it is related to this technology or any other thing. So yeah, but thank you so much, Dr. Chandra, for this opportunity. To you gave me opportunity to discuss with the expert people, I would say. I think you.
Uh, Dear participant, please drop the questions on chat box.
Okay, I can see here.
One more question is there, sir. What kind of nutrients are measured in soil?
Actually, mostly the first, like how to say, metal concentration, basically. What are essential metals? Most like mostly when it comes to, of course, organic molecule, we need to also map the organic components. But mostly when it comes to soil health, the metal play the most important role. So if you see here, they try to map several metals. Like if you see here, variety of metals, like of course the sodium, potassium, and iron, and these are the most important, calcium. But apart from that, some rare earth metal also they map. So basically a range of metals, apart from the essential metals to the rare earth metals, basically. So I mean, you know that, like sodium, potassium, oxygen, and phosphate, and these are the most important one. But we do have some rare earth metals too there in the system. I don't know if you can see this. See, with this laser, they try to map. These are from the soil samples, actually. They try to map.
Okay. There is one more question, sir. There is any titration methods available to measure NPK levels?
Yes, I think, yes. Titration methods are there. Titration methods are used a lot. I mean, these are the very traditional methods. So titration method is used a lot. But nowadays, instead of titration method, when it comes to lab testing, people prefer ICP more. So titration method is also good and known, but people prefer ICP better. Like if you are not like monitoring on site, then this ICP is more accurate, actually. But of course, ICP is like little bit expensive technology, like expensive instrument, but more
And
accurate. You can measure in part per million concentration.
okay. There is one more question, sir. What are the trades-off between the layer 1 on-chain and layer 2 off-chain scaling solution in blockchain technology?
Actually, to be honest, I'm not very much familiar with the blockchain technology. I have very superficial knowledge on blockchain technology. I try to understand how it work and even for the cryptocurrency also. But to be honest, I am not expert for that. So I cannot comment much on blockchain technology actually. My knowledge is very limited in that. I'm sorry for that, but uh, I I need to educate myself more about blockchain technology. But at present, I cannot answer you very correctly. So I don't want to make much comment on that.
Other questions? Can you please give the few more startup examples?
Oh yes, I think I have very nice. I can share this. I opened few examples here. Like if you see this, you can see what I'm opening here, right? This is the one we have here. Can you see?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the sense as an analytics. As I said, this is laser-based startup. They are using laser-induced breakdown. So their like main fundamental uh, is like a breakdown, laser-induced breakdown spectroscopy, and they try to make a very compact instrument for this thing, and they are trying to go every week to the farmers and farming, and they try to test the efficiency of their system, how efficient their system. If you can see here how much mega hectare land they covered. So this is one example, and this here you can see one example here. Can you see it here? This is another example, nice
Yes,
example
yes.
of the startup. If you see here, and one example was also like really interesting. uh, Let me see if I have it here. I can open. Yes, this one. So this is like more, this is more on digitalization, not like metal. So every startup have their own uh, aim, and how they are. So this is like basically they are trying to merge AI for this thing. I mean, you can see it like step into age data-driven agriculture. So they are like mostly that like they are collecting a lot of data. So it's data-driven. We develop AI and IoT solutions to build the climate resistance agricultural value chain and stuff like that. So this is also one of the really good. They try to like develop some app also, and that you can monitor. See this, a really good example of the sustainable agriculture solutions. This example, and see their partners, BASF, Bayer, Syngenta. Very like many big companies are supporting these partners. Of course, startup needs support in the beginning, and as a young researcher, I'm also struggling here. I'm also trying to develop one startup here. Maybe soon, in 5 or 6 months, I will have my own startup company here too. So going to get soon some funding, but that startup will not be related to agriculture. But I am trying to develop some solution for arthritis, osteoarthritis, especially in the when people grow old. So yeah, but I can share more example. I already share like how many? I think five, six. here in this slide. I will share this slide to Chandra sir. So you can have a look. Like I didn't see all in detail ki how they are achieve what they are achieving and how, but they are all related to the small agriculture startup. So you can have a look and then you can think also, why not? How you can utilize your research. If you are like, I don't know if all faculty they are they are involving in research. If you are involving in research along with teaching, then definitely you can think of how your like research can build something. Even if it is not very big, but at least can you give a try to build something easy. And sometimes something doesn't need to be very big. If you think that your technique or your technology or your method is very easy to adopt, you can try to build some startup out of it, and you can test it, like whether farmer like it or not. But I will share this with Chandra sir, so he can share with you all. So at least whatever information is there, most of the information is like not half of the information related to our work here, like what we are doing here in Tampere University. But still, you can. It's open access. It's published, so no problem.
Okay, so is one more question, sir. Please give the can you please elaborate on costing of reusable electronics? Can you please
Oh,
elaborate on
what is
costing of
reusable?
reusable electronics?
Oh, I think that that's a really good question, and it's like as far as circular economy is concerned, I think this is very important to reuse. But that is one way to use. I mean, of course, it's not that. I mean, if you are using reusable plastic or reusable this thing, you can reduce the cost and you can also reduce the carbon footprints and landfill on like this thing. So that is like, I think that is also not very costly. That is also a good way to develop low cost material from reusing. But I would also say like we also need to think of biodegradable. If we can think of biodegradable, it's better. Instead of course, if we cannot get like solution, like how to say, um mm, cheaper solution for biodegradable side, then you can reuse also. But I exactly don't know how cheaper it will be, but there are few people who are trying like this reusing plastic reusing, and it should be like affordable and it should be sustainable, I would say. But I don't know exactly how cheap it will be, how cost effective, but definitely it will be cost effective. But I would say not only cost effective, it will be like environment friendly, and certainly we can reduce the landfill also. Like landfill is like filling our land, so like we can reduce the landfill, and it will be more it will uh, lead to the circular economy. But sometime, I don't know all the time, sometime nowadays at current, like reusing can be as costly as buying new stuff. So that's the reason people are not adopting this circular that easily. So we have to make our technology so cheap that if you recycle, it should be much more cheaper than the newly produced plastic. Then only people will adopt that. Otherwise, they will not. Because finally, everything is not run by the environmental consciousness. It run by the economic consciousness. We have to run the countries, so and with billions of people. So economic like consciousness is more important and important when we try to think about such circular economy method and any other sustainable method.
Okay, sir. There is one more question. How is the AI accelerating the material discoveries and development? How is
What?
AI accelerating material discoveries and developments?
Oh, yes. I think AI is quite useful in that sense because AI is like provide you many permutation and combinations. So like it reducing your effort. I mean, somehow, let's say, just simple example, if you consider 10 years back, when you want to plan some synthesis, let's say synthesis of some molecule for some XYZ application, for some disease treatment, some drug molecule, or some molecule for some other, like some let's say for construction technology, if you are trying to develop some material or any other thing, then you have to go to the library, you have to read many research paper books, and then you will see like what is the research gap, what are the already known things, and then you have to find the perfect research gap, and then you have to build on that. Okay, this is the research gap, this is lacking, now I have to develop this thing. But nowadays it's like you can get that research gap in a minute. Ask like ChatGPT or DeepSeek, any like AI platform, ki what are the like already known this thing, what I can develop new. I mean, because they are nothing but the data. They have huge data, and then based on that data, they provide you. So basically, it's a kind of literature. They are doing literature survey for you in a quick time. So basically, I am totally agree. This will lead to the fast development of new material for sure. Because finding research gap and doing literature survey is super easy nowadays. Now I have many, I am supervising many PhD here. I have PhD student, master student, and if I ask them, can you find the research gap on this, can you give some solution? Can you came up with solution? In a day or two, they came up with this, and then I asked them, how do you know this quickly? They said we use the AI tool, you know. And same thing when I was doing in Pune University like 10 years back, I took a month to find out the research gap. What should I do the new? So I'm totally agree. You know, this AI is, of course, sometimes people say AI is a bad or good, but that is like different. That is different story how you use it. But definitely for the material development and like innovation, AI is truly helpful, I would say.
Okay. So one more question, sir. Uh, Chemical-based fertilizer is playing a big role in impacting soil health, whereas the compost fertilizer is facing a big challenge to mitigate demand as well as the agriculture growth. And how
Yes,
is
yes.
Finland dealing with the issues?
Oh, yes, yes. This is very, very good question, and I would say it's a quite debatable topic using these pesticide, and you know this pesticide also came into the food chain and many other stuff. Okay, so now it's about the demand and supply. So the demand of food and grains is very high. So even I mean. These chemical pesticide, of course, they are not good for the soil health, but we don't, since we don't have very good alternative, and you know organic organic substitute, they are not very efficient at present. I mean, maybe in the future they will, like people will develop and they will evolve with time. So they will be more efficient organic pesticide, and there will be more sustainable method. But at present, if you see, we cannot stop immediately using the chemical pesticide because we know that it's toxic and it's not good for the soil health. But at the same time, if we stop using them, then we cannot provide the amount of food grains needed, vegetables and food grain needed for this huge population. So it's like, you know, good versus, like, even if it is bad, but if let's say stop it, then how we will provide this food, this huge demand? I mean, otherwise people will be like I mean, if you see the situation before the discovery of these pesticides and stuff like that, there was used to huge like scarcity of grain, and bookmurray and all those things were very common in olden time. But now that has been improved because of these chemicals. But of course, now we realize these chemicals is not good, but we cannot stop because we need at the same time a high production of grains and vegetable to meet the demand of peoples. So this is like we cannot stop, but constantly we have to practice, we have to find some solution. So slowly we can do the transition, we cannot stop now, But we should aim, let's say, 10 years. We should be very practical with these replacing these chemical hazardous thing. We cannot stop. Let's say if we cannot stop, like we have 1.3 billion people, we cannot stop using chemical things like today itself. But we should aim, let's say, 10 years. We should try to develop some organic method that can take over slowly these chemicals. So slowly we can increase this composition of this and slowly reduce the chemical, like chemical fertilizer or chemical pesticide, and then so that the amount of food grains production will not get affected. This will be like continuously we will produce, and slowly we like increase one component over the other, and at some point the organic will be more. So we have to find this, we have to find the solution this way. And how Finland is tackling, Finland is using very less chemical pesticide, because Finland, first of all, Finland is a rich country and they have huge land. So every farmer has like several hectare of land, so they can afford, some costly technology also. And the price of the material in the Finnish market is very high. Like if you consider just a small like tomato is like a 3 euro, 4 euro per kg, which means it's like in Indian rupees is like 400 and 300, 400 rupee per kg, and that is normal for people here. They are not saying it's very costly. So here they, and when they produce here anything, they can adopt this more sustainable. So Finland is one of the best example in Scandinavian countries. Like they are reducing very, like they are using very less pesticides and chemical based things in their agriculture. They try to, tackle with the most of the organic and some other technological methods. So, but the thing is that is possible for Finland, because Finland, the ratio between person and land is very high. It's like only 500 million people here, and the huge land area. So that simply cannot be adopted in India easily. But in India, we have to find the way. As I said, we have to take the transition slowly reduce the chemical based pesticide and slowly increase, and then at some point we will find some proper balance. This is what I feel, but you may have some different opinion about it.
Okay, sir. There is one other question. Please share your
Yes.
opinion. The economic trade-off between the investing in biodegradable material versus improving recycle technology.
Yes. This is very, I would say, very insightful question, I would say, and this is very thoughtful. So I think I need to connect. Just a minute. I will bring the charger for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Yes, yes. No, it's fine. So yes, biodegradable versus uh, recycling. So see, uh, recycling is good option, of course, because you will not produce more like like non-degradable materials. But how to say, that will still will not be a good solution, because still you are using non-degradable materials. So at present, I would say biodegradable materials, they are more costly than recycled one. So I would say this complete transition is like little bit difficult at present, but people are trying to develop like cheaper way to make biodegradable polymer and biodegradable alternative for electronic, and that is called, sustainable electronic. Is like Europe is putting huge amount of money for sustainable electronics. So they are promoting the companies that develop most of the part of your electronic system that can degrade over time after the like particular lifetime. It should work in that particular lifetime after that. So I would say, let's come to the point: recycling versus biodegradable. Recycling is cheaper, but it's not a permanent solution for the like environmental perspective. But biodegradable is a better solution, but at present is expensive. But to tackle this, there is like there should be, government should come to promote this initiative. Let's say, I will give you one simple example here in Finland, how government is promoting this biodegradable. You know this, we use some plastic to throw this garbage, right? Like at our home, right, in cities, and then that municipal corporation, they collect all those waste. So here in Finland, they said like use biodegradable plastic, and that is like costlier than the normal plastic. So if it is like three times costly, so if it is three times costly, then people will simply buy the cheaper one, because when people go with their family in the market, they didn't think about environment, they think what is cheaper, right? So the thing is, here government what did? They provide some subsidy for the company, so that they can bring the same price as a non-degradable plastic. So if government provides subsidy in the beginning, then it's possible to like replace this thing. But of course, like recycling will be cheaper than biodegradable for sure at present scenario. But of course, people are trying to find some cheaper method that can produce large amount of biodegradable polymers with low cost. So I mean, it might take some time, few years, to develop cheap technology, but I'm pretty sure it will come at some point. But of course, government has to involve. Sometimes they need to provide some subsidy for these kind of initiatives to bring the price. Here, if you see, the price are like kind of same, like for biodegradable plastic and for the degradable plastic, but actual production cost is not same, but government provides subsidy for the company, so that when people go, they will more buy like biodegradable plastic instead of non-degradable. So it's like a complex process, but I'm pretty like I'm optimistic person, and I'm pretty sure there will be some time when we have a very cheap technology to produce this biodegradable material for electronic and for packaging, for many other application in a very low cost. Especially the packaging is also a big challenge. So we need to find the biodegradable option not only for electronic, because electronic waste is one of the problem. And then packaging industry, they use huge amount of plastic. So there also we need biodegradable solution. And of course, for other technologies too, even in farming also, sometimes farmers they use lot of plastics. So that create, and now I don't know if you heard about this new term, like nowadays is a very hot topics in Europe. They are giving millions of funding to do research on microplastics. So in our food nowadays, somehow we are having some microplastics, even in the seawater and others. So this plastic become a nano and microparticles, and they are going everywhere. So these microplastic is a huge problem in environment, and they creating many diseases like cancer and all. So we need to understand, and we have to reduce this the production of microplastic in the environment in the food chain also. So that's the reason to how to avoid this and how to detect this microplastic from food and how to control it. To develop these kind of technology, government is giving huge amount of money so that we can quickly develop some method to detect this, because it's very dangerous for health perspective, this microplastics. I hope I answered, but I think it's very like debatable topic and open ended. One can have many opinion about it.
Okay, any more questions from participant, please? Or if anyone want to talk or ask directly to our experts, so we will allow them. So if you want to, please raise your hand. Okay, sir. It's no questions,
Okay, it
other
was great.
questions. So it was
Thanks
very
for
great
all nice
sessions.
questions from audience. I'm really happy, and I try my best whatever I can, like provide feedbacks for those. But the question was really good, and it was nice discussion. And I would like to thank again Dr. Chandra and Nilesh sir
Yeah, sure,
for
sure.
having
Thank
me
you, sir.
here, like, with the expert people in the field. I hope this sustainable agriculture is like practices like getting adopted soon
Yeah, right, sir.
in a bigger scale. Of course, they are like many people have already start practicing our country, but should go to the large scale.
Yeah, okay. Okay, sir, for your kind presentations, and thank you for your valuable information to share with us and regarding to the soil health measuring, and all these things are very informative sessions to for our participants, and this session will be very helpful to our participants for their research work and future work. Might be they will useful that knowledge during their research works. So thank you so very much, and we will take the one photograph, group photograph. So please, all participant, please keep camera on. So we have to take one photograph. Then afterward, we'll share the feedback form. So please fill the feedback form of session 3 and 4 for day second.
And also, like little bit small announcement, we are also open to uh, collaborate with anyone, whoever any idea have any idea. We and
Uh,
no need to feel shy if this is a stupid idea or something. You can discuss and we try to collaborate. We are very open here. We are having collaboration with many universities here, so we are very much, and we would be happy to collaborate with Indian researcher.
okay, sure, sir. Sir, have you worked on a biosensor?
Yes, a bit. Recently,
Uh,
I think I can share one paper we published. Uh, we develop a biosensor from polyurethane.
okay,
I think I can show you. I think still I can like I'm sharing my screen, right?
okay.
I can show you like quickly. So our idea was to develop a sensor that can act as an artificial skin, basically bionic skin. So if people like sometimes they get born or something, or the skin is not sensing, so kind of artificial skin
Okay.
development. I can show you quickly. It's very interesting compound work.
Yeah, electrochemical sensing.
Electrochemical sensing we did, but this more like this is uh, how to say, just a minute. That is more like interesting. That's why I want to say, because it's a, you said na biosensor. It's like a
Yeah.
perfect biosensor. So if it is not added in the Google Scholar, yes, yes, this is the paper. Can you see it?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yes.
We publish in advanced engineering material. If you see quickly
It's a
our
current
design,
applications.
yeah, I can show you. So this is the polyurethane we synthesized, which was very stretchable, very stretchable, and then we trying to develop, strain sensor and come like a pressure sensor, so that we can use in the these kind of part where we need to, how to say, we need to provide some pressure like bending motions and all. So that's like experiment. If you see here, there, see the sensing activity for this thing. So this was the idea to develop biosensor. So especially for skin, this thing. So we can like use this for the health, health related or other instrument like gym related stuff. Also we can combine this. But the idea was to develop artificial skin, more like bionic skin
Okay.
that can sense our stuff if we lose something, or maybe we can try to correlate with the some sensor related to, your monitoring some health parameters. So this was very flexible, and then we can fit it anywhere, but of course it's for this mean for external application,
Okay.
the biosensor which are like implant inside the human body, they have different requirement that we also developing, but still we didn't publish. But we are trying to develop some biosensor for blood cancer detection. So we are developing very tiny sensor that can detect the blood cancer cell. uh,
Okay.
that so maybe in a year or two we will be able to publish that work.
Nice. Yeah. Uh, huh? Uh, Sir, कहाँ गए? Okay. Now it's fine. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much, sir, for giving this
Thank
such
you, thank
nice
you to you too,
lectures.
and thanks to all audience. Even if it is quite late in India, still they are with us.
It's
So thanks to them
near
too.
9 p.m. around.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
Keep in
Yes, sir,
touch.
sure.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir,
Thank
sure.
you so much,
Okay.
sir.